This video is dedicated to Mr. Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt.
Rollins, and this is Bretto live on YouTube.
Welcome everyone to the Week in Review episode 226, where we go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. We are going to start off with Monday Night Raw from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and coming off a super bad crowd from last week, this crowd was so hype, dude. What an amazing crowd. We opened up the show with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn coming out with an insane ovation he received from this crowd, of course, because it is his hometown. He gets interrupted by the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day come down. They try to do a 4-on-1 assault on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says, "You guys really think I'd come out here alone?" And then Kevin Owens' music hits. Kevin Owens returns from injury. They take out the Judgment Day. A little 2-on-4 action. Kevin Owens challenges the Judgment Day to a 2-on-2 tag team match in the main event of the show. Any two members of the Judgment Day versus Sami and Kevin, because Kevin hasn't had a match on Raw in a long time. This was such an awesome, solid way to open up the show. I really enjoyed the ovation that Sami got, well deserved. And for them to take out the Judgment Day, it felt amazing. Our opening match of the night, it was McGriddle, the new tag team name for Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre. McGriddle, like McGriddle from McDonald's. It's McGriddle. They went up against the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This match was pretty decent. I do like the tag team of Riddle and Drew McIntyre. They have some pretty good chemistry. In the end, we did see Riddle about to make a tag to Drew McIntyre, a hot tag. Drew McIntyre gets pulled off the apron by one of the Viking idiots, and then Kofi Kingston and the New Day are able to take advantage. Kingston hits the Trouble in Paradise on Riddle and picks up the victory for the New Day. That victory was short-lived because right after the match, the Viking Raiders, or should I say Viking idiots, started attacking Drew and Riddle and started attacking the New Day. But then Drew was able to fend off the Viking Raiders and then started teaming and with the New Day, and then they were able to take out the Viking idiots, which I thought was actually pretty solid. Shinsuke Nakamura cut a promo via satellite talking about what he said in the ear of Seth Rollins last week that caught Seth Rollins so off guard. Shinsuke Nakamura said, "I know about your back injury. I know how much pain your body's in." This was a great promo, and yes, I have to admit my mistake. Last week, I was not excited for this Shinsuke Nakamura Seth Rollins rivalry, but this episode of Monday Night Raw has me excited for it. They gave me some story. They gave me something to bounce off of. Later in the night, Seth Rollins responded to Shinsuke Nakamura's allegations of saying that his back is wrecked, and Seth Rollins said, "Yes, I have a bunch of injuries to my spine. My back does not feel good, no doubt about that, but I am still at the peak of my career, and if Shinsuke thinks he's going to take me down, he's damn wrong. They're going to be fighting at Payback, and I am looking forward to this match now, bro." I mean, I hate to say that I was wrong last week, but it's true. I was wrong. I'm looking forward to this rivalry now, and I'm curious to see how their match is going to go down at Payback, especially with the attention to detail with the back of Seth Rollins. I'm really looking forward to this. Cody Rhodes cut a little promo with Byron Saxton. First they were backstage, and then he sort of brought him out to the arena, and I felt like it was improvised. I felt like that was so improvised. I don't know. It just felt like it. Even if it wasn't, it felt like he brought Byron out to the crowd, introduced him to the crowd. He gave a shout out to Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, the new commentators on Raw, and then he basically just said, "Montreal crowd, you need to be in the corner of Sami and Kevin tonight when they take out the Judgment Day." Basically just hyping up the main event, because Cody's a really good hype man. The Poison Pixie Candice LeRae went up against Rhea Ripley. Indy Hartwell was on ringside, but it didn't really matter. Rhea Ripley made quick work of Candice LeRae by submitting her, and then after the match, Raquel Rodriguez music hits. She comes out, but yes, she has a crutch, so she's still not medically cleared. But then she gets in the face of Rhea Ripley, throws the crutch aside, and then they start brawling. Raquel Rodriguez gets the best of Rhea Ripley and then tells her that she has a match against Rhea at Payback for the Women's Championship. This has got me excited because Rhea and Raquel are both similar in stature and similar in size. I really think Raquel can be a good contender for the Women's Championship that Rhea holds. Chad Gable shocked the world when he went one-on-one with Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. No Imperium, no Alpha Academy on ringside. First of all, I I loved that. They really just focused in on Gable and Gunther. Just them. No ringside interference. Just these two men going at it, having a great all-time classic for the Intercontinental Championship. In the end, Chad Gable suplexed Gunther over the top of the barricade into the timekeeper's area, ran back in the ring, and beat Gunther by count out. I love this. Some people have mixed opinions on it, and I can understand why, but you can't have Gunther lose that title 20 days before he's about to beat the Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental Championship record. But you still have to make Chad Gable win. Perfect. Throw him over the barricade, have him win by countout. He doesn't get the title, but he still defeats Gunther and breaks the undefeated streak of the Ring General Gunther. Technically, this is the second time Chad Gable has beat Gunther. He beat him in that Beat the Clock challenge, and he beat him here in a one-on-one match by countout. The Miz wanted to prove he's better than LA Knight, so we got one of the best people on the roster. He said Akira Tazawa. So he went one-on-one with Akira Tazawa. LA Knight comes out, sits on ringside. LA Knight on commentary. Priceless, by the way. I loved that. Distracted The Miz countless times during this match, allowing Akira Tazawa to roll up The Miz and pick up the victory. Right after the match, Miz was heated. So LA Knight came in the ring, delivered a blood force trauma to The Miz, and got the best of The Miz. I'm looking forward to the match. Most likely it's going to happen at Payback, and I think it ought to be pretty good. But for Akira Tazawa to pick up the dub here over The Miz, a former WrestleMania main eventer, this is lit, bro, for Akira Tazawa. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Akira Tazawa, but to see him get a win, man, I mean, it feels good. It feels like a breath of fresh air for him. Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Zoe Stark all cut a promo in the center of the ring. Becky Lynch basically just saying she's going to be able to take out Trish Stratus in a steel cage, and she's super hyped to do that. Trish saying she's the best of her generation. She's the best of this generation. And then Becky Lynch announced that she's going to be facing Zoe Stark before she faces Trish Stratus next week on Raw in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I think Becky wins that. And I think Becky wins the steel cage match at Payback with some help from Lita. I could see that happening. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green went up against Caden Carter and Katana Chance in a tag team match. This was okay, nothing special. I keep saying Dewdrop. Piper Niven was able to carry this dub. She absolutely splatted Katana Chance like a fly with a freaking standing cross body, and they were able to pick up the victory. And I honestly, just like last week, I don't really care. I'm not gonna lie. I think the women's tag team championships have been made a joke out of. I think these titles can be great, but they just never have them on like teams where I'm like, oh, I'm invested in this. Like, they never have me interested, these tag team championships. They could be great. They really could. Our main event of the show, first, it was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Damian Priest and Finn Balor. That match got interrupted. Disqualification after J.D. McDonough threw the frickin' briefcase in the ring. Kevin used it, turned into a disqualification, and then Cody's like, nah. That's not how we're ending this episode of Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes says, let's make it a six-man tag team match. There's three of you, there's three of us, let's make it happen. Cody Rhodes is so hyped. So it turned into a six-man tag team match. Judgment Day minus Rhea Ripley versus Kevin, Sami, and Cody. This was a great six-man main event. I loved it so much. There was a wicked Cody cutter from Cody Rhodes to Dominic and Damian Priest, and then in the end we did see Kevin, Sami, and Cody Rhodes pick up the victory over the Judgment Day to take the dub in the main event, bro. If you guys didn't get a chance to see this main event, it is on the WWE YouTube channel. It was a great match, bro, and to see Cody, Kevin, and Sami come out on top in their hometown, minus Cody, of Canada, this was awesome, bro. That was the Raw part of the video. Raw this week, I'm going to give a solid 3 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty decent show. It had me entertained most of the time. There was some boring stuff. There was also some really, really good stuff. You guys can let me know what you guys thought about Raw down in the comments down below. Now, we are going to jump into SmackDown. Jumping into Friday night SmackDown, or should I call it the Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt tribute show. This was a beautiful episode of SmackDown to watch. I highly recommend that everybody watch the Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt tribute parts of the show. Opening up the show, we did have the entire SmackDown roster: Triple H, Cody Rhodes, Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, all in the front, as we all paid our respects and paid tribute to Mr. Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. Absolutely amazing way to open up the show with the 10-bell salute to both men and have everybody out there. Really solemn and memorable moment here for the WWE. This was really awesome, and even for Triple H to bring in Eric Rowan was really cool because that's literally Bray Wyatt's brother, if you will, not biological, but literally his brother, and Braun Strowman as well, who has an injury currently. Awesome how he popped in. This was truly amazing. We jumped into our opening contest, which was Rey Mysterio going one-on-one with Grayson Waller. And a couple weeks back, I said I wasn't a fan of Grayson Waller. He's nothing. I'm not a fan of him. But bro is growing on me. Dude's got a great moveset. This match was solid. Theory decided to get himself involved. His music hits. He comes out, starts distracting Rey Mysterio. But then here comes Santos Escobar to even up the odds. Sort of takes out Austin Theory. And then allows Rey Mysterio to hit the 619 and drop the dime in the ring on Grayson Waller to win the match. And then he celebrated with Santos Escobar and held up the United States Championship. Pretty cool, no doubt. Hyping up our match at Payback because, of course, Rey's got Theory at Payback for the United States Championship, which is going to be a pretty solid match. I am looking forward to that. Hopefully Rey keeps the belt. As far as this opening match, it's pretty decent. Selena Vega of the LWO had a women's championship match up against the current women's champion, that being Skye. Of course, we did have Dakota Kai and Bayley on ringside. Another solid match on the card. Selena Vega looks great, dude. I feel like it's only a matter of time until she actually gets that title belt off of Skye. I don't think this is her last opportunity, and I really think Selena Vega deserves this title. She hit the code red. She had Skye. If Skye didn't fall out of the ring, this was an easy dub for Selena Vega. She was able to deliver that over the moonsault that she does and pick up the victory over Selena Vega and retain the women's championship. I got no problem with Skye. I think she's really good, but I do think Selena Vega should be the next women's champion on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes had come out to the center of the ring to talk about the life and the career of Terry Funk. He focused a lot on Terry Funk because later in the show, we would focus a lot on Bray Wyatt with LA Knight. Yeah, so they got some time in here for Funk with Cody Rhodes. This was great. Cody talked about little stories he's had in the past with Funk, and then he introduced our next match, which would be a hardcore match between the Street Profits and the Brawling Brutes. And I'm not going to lie, I was expecting more weapons to be used in this hardcore match, but they only used a table. But I'm not going to lie, this match packed a punch. There were a lot of hard hits from all these superstars. Great match. In the end, Bobby Lashley had to get himself involved because it was no disqualification, so why not? He takes out Butch, and then back in the ring, the Street Profits hit their new double team maneuver on Ridge Holland, but I just don't have a Ridge Holland, so I just threw Butch in there. Threw a table, and then they were able to pick up the victory. The new Hurt Business, I should say, looking really, really good, or should I say the new Street Profits, maybe. Cap off the end of SmackDown, LA Knight, yeah, came out to the ring. He talked about Bray Wyatt. He talked about the career of Bray Wyatt and how he was absolutely flabbergasted by the death of Bray Wyatt, just like everybody was, no doubt about it. But LA Knight did come out, talked about how he wasn't the biggest friends with Bray Wyatt. He was in character still, so he was trying to, because him and Bray Wyatt, I mean, this was Bray Wyatt's last feud, was with LA Knight. So LA Knight was still in character. He's like, we might not always see eye to eye, but a wise man once told me to run when you see me. That's what he was telling The Miz. And then he went up against Finn Balor, which was, I thought was kind of a random match, Finn Balor versus LA Knight, but it was pretty decent. It was a pretty decent match. In the end, LA Knight was able to hit the Blood Force Trauma, and Finn Balor jobbed to LA Knight, man. What a W. Like, LA Knight gets a win over a former Universal Champion, Finn Balor. Like, this is a massive win for LA Knight. People need to be talking about this. Like, holy. And now LA Knight's going to beat The Miz at Payback. Bro's going to be in the world title picture. Guaranteed. Maybe not that, but maybe like the United States title. I don't know. But Bro is going to have a title soon. He's going to have a big match at Mania. I know it. Possible Royal Rumble winner? I don't know about that, but it's possible. You never know. But this was a great way to end the show. And then they popped the lantern in the ring for Bray Wyatt. And then they flashed the smoke. And then they panned a photo of him up on the Titantron. And it was truly amazing. It was a great job by WWE to pay honor and tribute to both Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. What a great episode of SmackDown, in my opinion. I'm going to give this show a solid 4 out of 5. I thought the tribute to Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk was there. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. You guys let me know what you guys thought about SmackDown and Raw down in the comments down below. SmackDown this week, I'm going to give, once again, a 4 out of 5. And I will see you guys next time. Once again, rest in peace, Mr. Bray Wyatt and Mr. Terry Funk. Much love, guys. Bretto Live. Out.